Saikaran,
Yes,
Chinese Type 63A light amphibious tanks in Xiamen City, tanks in Fujian province a few kilometers from Xiamen Island. What do we make of the Chinese drills around Taiwan?
Yeah, that is a very important aspect here, because if we are looking at the 6 points of contention that where the Chinese drills are to take place from Thursday until Saturday, and we are also getting reports that as early as tonight there are also going to be certain other drills that are going to take place around Taiwan. These are very provocative in nature. Firstly, because if you look at those 6 points of locations, they're extremely close and almost infringing on the Taiwanese airspace and the water borders that you have around Taiwan. It's very provocative. It's almost like pointing a finger at you, which is almost like very close to your nose, but saying that I'm not touching you. It's as provocative as that. And they're also very certain that they don't want to escalate too much when Pelosi is there. So if you also look at the timeline, they're going to start those drills from Thursday. The major drills are going to start from Thursday, when Pelosi will not even be there in Taiwan. So they also want to make sure that they're not going to escalate things with US, but at the same time they also want to put Taiwan in their place, because Taiwan, even today, if you see, after Nancy Pelosi's plane landed, there were also some reports from the Chinese media that the US Air Force, that the aircraft actually infringed on China's airspace, which was not the case, because you saw the circuitous lane that the aircraft took from Malaysia.
But Saikaran, there was also this information that Chinese Su-35 fighter jets, they almost came close to the airspace of Taiwan. They came beyond the ADIZ, or in the air defense identification zone. But for a moment, when we talk about these drills that China is carrying out at 6 different locations, and this is where it becomes extremely interesting: drills in the north, southwest, southeast of the island, long-range artillery shooting in Taiwan Strait, conventional missile test firing. General Kulkarni, what's the signal that China is trying to send out after Nancy Pelosi has landed in Taiwan?
The Chinese aren't taking it as lightly. Gaurav, and Chinese want to convey to the Americans that, well, all said and done, they're not going to let Taiwan be a democracy as what
said very clearly that they do believe in the one China policy, but they would not let the invasion of Taiwan be done by China. It's not now. Even when Mao Zedong was alive, the Kinmen Islands of Taiwan, Mao Zedong for 30 years ensured bombardments for every alternate day, odd and even, and it carried on even 3 years after Mao's death. That's not just the military angle or the political angle or the diplomatic angle to Taiwan.
Yes.
There's a tremendous amount of social angle to Taiwan.
Marriages have taken place between mainland China and Taiwan, and most of them, over 4 lakh, are women from the mainland China. They have one child policy in China all these years. So there's tremendous amount of social interaction.
But is that social interaction actually leading to something positive? Or in the times to come, Shiv Arur with me on this big story, Saikaran also with me on the story, Foreign Affairs Director Geeta Mohan tracking the story very, very closely, diplomatically. Many argue, especially in the United States, Geeta, that what is Nancy Pelosi's visit actually going to achieve? It may be symbolic, but it's putting Taiwan in harm's way. Is that the appreciation even of some in Taiwan?
Well, certainly some in DC, in the DC circuit, as also in Taiwan. There were certain quarters that did protest the visit, although you saw many of them would come to welcome Nancy Pelosi, but also in China, that what are the tangibles, what are the deliverables from the visit. Nancy Pelosi is Speaker of the House of Representatives. She has no powers when it comes to policy decisions. Are there going to be any important policy announcements? Are there going to be any announcements with regards to how US is going to support? In terms of a speech of support, is different from announcement of what they're going to deliver, what they're going to send to Taiwan in the form of support. That Nancy Pelosi certainly can't do. She has very important engagements, but this certainly is a decision by the Speaker and her office to travel to include Taiwan as part of her Southeast Asia tour. She does not require permission from the United States of America administration or President Biden, and nor did she seek one. There is a certain amount of distancing if you see the kind of statements that are coming from US administration, where they're trying to make it a point to say that this is the Speaker's visit. It's not an official administration visit, so treat them differently. China has not accepted this argument. In fact, they have vehemently rejected the argument, saying that the third highest ranking official of US administration visiting a country or visiting Taiwan cannot be construed as an unofficial visit. It is indeed official, and that's the reason why the reaction coming in from Beijing.